Hello students, welcome to the new video on radiation heat transfer. In this video, we will try to understand or we will try to study what are the different laws of radiation. Okay, what are the different laws with respect to radiation heat transfer is concerned. With respect to actually only radiation, no heat transfer, only radiation is concerned. So in that first and foremost law, which already I have done it we have studied in the last video, that is Stephen Boltzmann Stephen Stephen Boltzmann law. So what does Stephen Boltzmann law say? So it says that, so I'm not writing in terms of I'm just telling it, and I'm writing the expression. Stephen Boltzmann law states that Stephen Boltzmann law states that the emissive power of a black body already I've done it in the last class, but anyhow, this video is dedicated to laws of radiation. I'm writing all the things. Emissive power of a black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. What do you mean by absolute temperature? It should be in Kelvin. Absolute temperature. So how do we write in terms of expression? Emissive power of a black body is equal to sigma T to the power of 4 if you try to remove the proportionality constant. So what is this sigma? Sigma is what is called as Stephen Boltzmann constant. Stephen Boltzmann constant. So what is the value of sigma? It is very easy to remember. 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin to the power of 4. So 5678, it is easy to remember. 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin to the power of 4. So EB is the emissive power, sigma is the Stephen Boltzmann constant, and T is the absolute temperature of the black body. Are you able to understand? So please remember this. So this is what Stephen Boltzmann law is all about. Okay, going on to the next law. Second one, I will come to this little late related to Kirchhoff's law. For second law, very important law, what is called as Planck's law. So what is this Planck's law states? What does this Planck's law speak about? So Max Planck, so his name is actually Max Planck. So in 1900 he did a lot of experiments, and he gave the expression that the monochromatic, I think the first video, you should keep a reference of the first video, whatever that I'm doing, please try to go back and see. Monochromatic emissive power of a black body, I think you should be able to understand. Monochromatic with respect to the wavelength, emissive power of a black body is given by. So what is this expression? It is given by, so he gave the expression as 2 pi c square h lambda to the power of minus 5 divided by exponential into exponential to the power of ch divided by lambda kt minus 1. So this is what is called as Planck's law. So no sentence is there for this, so it directly given by the expression. The monochromatic hemispherical emissive power of a black body is given as 2 pi c square h lambda to the power of minus 5 divided by exponential to the power of ch divided by lambda kt minus 1. Now don't worry about it. We have certain constants here where c is the velocity of the light, which is, I'll just write it here. E lambda b, let me just define it. E lambda b is what? Monochromatic emissive power. So hemispherical is understood. Emissive power of a black body. Next, what is c? Is the velocity of light. So what is the velocity of light in vacuum? LIGHT, light in vacuum. How much is this? 2.998 into 10 to the power of 8. Correct. Now similarly, what is h? Planck's constant. I think you know this. Planck's constant. Estapa, what is Planck's constant? Do you remember that? 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules second. Now similarly, you know what is lambda, wavelength and all those things. So Boltzmann constant, K is the Boltzmann constant, which is 1.3805 into 10 to the power of minus 23 joule per Kelvin. Now if you try to substitute all these things, finally our expression turns out to be E lambda equal to C1 lambda to the power of minus 5 divided by exp C2 divided by lambda t minus 1. So this is a new modified version of Planck's law, where C1 is 2 pi c square h, which is given by, after substituting all the constants and simplification, we are going to get 3.742 into 10 to the power of 8 watt per micrometer. Sorry, I'll just write it here. Watt micrometer to the power of 4 divided by meter square. Similarly, C2 is CH by K, which is turning out to be 4.388 into 10 to the power of 4 micrometer Kelvin. So please see this. Please note down this. These are C1 and C2. So this is what the Planck's law is all about. So what is the advantage of this? So what is the advantage of this law? Please see, this law is a very, very important law with respect to radiation is concerned. See, what is the advantage of this law? Did you notice what is the major breakthrough of this law? See, I can now plot a graph for different wavelength and a given temperature. Yes or no? Now, with the help of this expression, say, for a given particular wavelength, or say if I fix the constant temperature for a given temperature, if I keep on varying the lambda, what is the value of E lambda B? I can find it out. Yes or no? Yes or no? I can keep on varying the lambda for a given particular temperature. Now, if we do so with the help of this expression, if we try to plot it, suppose say y-axis as E lambda B, y-axis as E lambda B, the unit is what? The unit is Kelvin watt per meter square micrometer. And what is your x-axis? So our x-axis, let us consider our x-axis as lambda wavelength, micrometer. Okay. Now if you try to do it, say we'll try to put some bar here. Say this is 100. Say this is 200. This is 300. Next is 400. See, all this is in monochromatic hemispherical. So this is the unit I have written here. And finally we'll fix this as 500. Now here also 0. So it is in not a linear scale, say log or some other semi-log sheet or something like that. It is 1. Say this is 2, 3, and this is 4. So if you try to put it, sorry for this, it's not coming so straight. It's okay, fine. Now if you try to do it, say if you try to keep on varying the lambda for a given particular temperature, what is the curve that you are going to get it is, suppose say what is the peak, what is the behavior of E lambda that is observed is, say what is going to happen is E lambda will increase with the increase in the value of lambda. It goes to a peak, and what is going to happen? It is going to come down like this. So the peak will be somewhere here. So this is for what temperature? 2000 K. Now what is going to happen is, as you keep on decreasing the temperature, so for different temperature you can find it out. So this is for 1500 K, this is for 1000 K. So you can try to put it for different temperatures also. So what is that you can observe is, as you keep on increasing the lambda for a given any temperature, so you're going to get a peak of E lambda, and further if you try to increase the lambda, the E lambda B start decreasing. It is been observed for any temperature for that matter. So if you observe, if you try to put it, this lambda T, lambda max, that means there is one lambda which is giving the maximum value of the emissive power of a black body, correct? Particular lambda for every temperature is giving a maximum, that means a maximum emissive power for some particular lambda. So lambda max into T is some constant if you try to put it out. So this is the case. Now how do you find out EB? That means overall emissive power, as we have written, infinity E lambda B d lambda. This is what we can find it for total emissive power, yes or no, with the help of E lambda B. Now how do we find out where actually this is maximum? So just see this, where will be, I have to find it out, which is that lambda max, that means which is the lambda where EB will be maximum. What is that I need to do? So that is where next law started appearing, which is called as Wien's displacement law. In order to find out that maximum thing, it is a derivation, that means it is obtained from Planck's law, which is called as Wien's displacement law. So what is this law is? Actually this law is derived from Planck's law. Actually, as we saw here in this graph, there is this lambda into T is constant. It is observing, it is constant for any temperature, it is coming to be constant. So it will be something like this if you try to plot it for different. So this is constant actually. So lambda max into T is somewhat constant. So how do we find out constant? So we need to find out what is that maximum value of lambda where EB will be maximum, or what is that value of lambda where EB will be maximum. What is that we need to do? We need to differentiate it dE lambda B with respect to what? dE lambda of B divided by d lambda is equal to 0 and equate it to 0. So you try to find it out. Please do the simplification. Just you have to differentiate this expression. So once you try to do, once you substitute it, you are going to end up with a value that is lambda max into T is equal to constant. I am not showing that step. It is not required. If you want, you can just refer a textbook. So lambda max into T is equal to 2898 2898 micrometer Kelvin. So this law is what is called as Wien's displacement law. So Wien's displacement law is not alone, it is obtained from Planck's law. So what is the beauty of this law? Now you just see. Now if you see this is Wien's displacement law. Now what is that? You can find it out. With this constant, you try to substitute for a given temperature, where what is the lambda max value, you can find it out, correct? So just substitute the temperature here, you can get the lambda max. What is that you can do? You can take this lambda max value and you can substitute it here, that lambda. What is that you can obtain? You can very easily obtain what is the emissive power for that particular lambda. Now with the help of that particular lambda, what is that now you can do? You can find out the total emissive power for different. If you have a set of wavelength, you can also find out the total emissive power. Are you able to understand? So this is what about this is all about Wien's displacement law. So these are three laws which you have learned today. There is one more law which is called as Kirchhoff's law. So what is this Kirchhoff's law of radiation? Even though it seems very obvious and very simple, but it is a very, very strong statement that scientist Kirchhoff has made. So what is this? Kirchhoff's law of radiation. Kirchhoff's law. So what he did was, every body for that matter, if you consider any body, it has a capacity to absorb radiation, yes or no? It has a capacity to absorb radiation, and also it has a capacity to emit radiation. So emission property is denoted with the help of emissivity. Absorptive property is denoted with the alpha, yes or no? So what did he say? That the emissive property, what did he say is that emissive property of any body is equal to absorptive property of the body. That means emissivity is equal to absorptivity. This law states that any temperature, the ratio of total emissive power E to the total absorptive power alpha epsilon to the absorptivity alpha is a constant for all substances which are in thermal equilibrium with their environment. So basically what is that you can derive? You can derive that emissivity of a body is equal to its absorptivity when the body remains in thermal equilibrium with its surroundings. So when does this holds good? When the body remains in thermal equilibrium with its surroundings. So even though it seems very obvious, but it's a very, very powerful statement. With the help of this law, lot of heat transfer expressions can be simplified. Understood? So the emissivity of a body is equal to absorptivity. So emissivity of a body is equal to what? Absorptivity. This is very, very important. When the body remains in thermal equilibrium with its surroundings. Understood? So we have learned three powerful statements. One is starting with Stephen's law, another one is Wien's displacement law, and another one is Kirchhoff's law. Understood? Now these are all about emissivity. So Kirchhoff's law talks about absorptivity and emissivity. So in the next video, we will try to understand what actually is about intensity of radiation, solid angle, and the laws related to those things. So that I think should complete the basics of radiation. Okay, thank you.